folks, Darnell Mack here with Stamps by Kate. You can find us at bykate.com. I'm going to do a quick video for Instagram to show you the stamps, how you ink, and techniques of doing that. I do stamp on white all the time. I use a piece of paper as blotter paper, as you can see here, just so that I can test before I mark on white. And it depends on how much ink and how much you've used your ink pad, quite frankly. If they're a bit dry, it's about perfect for whites. All right, so this is my 1-inch. My 1-inch stamp. It's a little flimsy. We call it a flimsy. It's just flexible. And they're interchangeable on the acrylic block. Now this is a 3.5 by 2.5. It's about a 1/2 inch thick, so it serves as a little handle. We have these in different thicknesses. I prefer this one because it gives you a bit of width to it to hold on to. Now, I'm not pressing hard, so let's check to see what that looks like. Bit too dark for the whites, but it's probably going to be about right for this fabric. And see, it is. Now that's my kind of a light fabric. I can generally get about 2 impressions out of my ink pad. Now I am lightly touching it here. Again, you play with your ink pad depending on how new or how used it is, maybe how much you've got ink on it. And so I've still got a bit of ink in there. So let's do one in the white. I still haven't re-inked this thing. Let's see how it looks. Nope, it is too light. You get ink on this thing, use a non-abrasive cloth. I use a stamp chamois, but you can use a cloth that doesn't scratch. Treat it like a pair of glasses, kind of a thing. You want to be able to see it. So now I've stamped it. Okay. All right, I blotted it off there. Now I'm going to go back on this one and pick up the print again. That is perfect. I barely tap it into the ink pad and take another impression. Perfect. That's where I like it. So you can see. Now I fussy cut. I fussy these close together so I can cut one time. But you can see there's no shadows and I've got a bright light on. So anyways, that's kind of the stamping. And so from here, I cut right down the center of that line, and it is in the seam allowance, so it's not going to be seen. And there you go. From here, let's cut another one out here. It's right sides together. And I put my pen in here, match up those points. You can see that on that side and that side, and if it's not just where you want it, use your fingernails and kind of scooch it down. There you go. You can see my straight pin there and there. And now I just start with my needle to the other side and start doing a running stitch from here to here. Don't forget to either knot your thread or do a couple of back stitches to lock it in there, and you're off to the races. One other thing that I was gonna show you, oh yes, fussy cutting. Okay, this is the highlight of these clear stamps. Now you can do it even with the rubber ones. It's easier for me with the clear ones. Now this is a darker color, so I'm not too worried about how much ink I'm getting in here. And so here I go. Now notice this one is a little bit close to the seam allowance right here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'm not going to do that one. So let's go to the pineapple. I know I can get this one. And so you can see that I've got a little bit into my seam allowance, but I have about 1/8 of a seam allowance, and that's good enough for me. It'll be fine when I go to quilt it. And I want to get that kiwi. Now, notice I'm going a little bit into this line right here. Again, I'm going to have a smaller seam allowance, but not a big deal. I still have some space, so I can probably fill with some of my 1/2 inch. Ooh, I can get that kiwi right there. Or whatever it is. Maybe it's a peach. And so there you go. And now I just start cutting out. And so here I split the difference between those two lines that kind of overlapped there, and I'm good to go. And once again, you're off to cutting. I'm sorry, I'm cutting. Next is stitching. I don't do two things at one time very well. Anyways, I hope you find this helpful. Have a great day and happy stitching. Bye.